we are recording. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome, Melis, to Bubbles Interviews.
Thank you
I
for
would,
having me.
I would like to ask about your career. Uh, Maybe we start with what did you study? Then I have a few more questions.
Okay. I studied first humanities and social sciences. Then I came here in the Netherlands to do art history. And
Was this a specific part of art history or?
no, just in general, but because I did it in the Netherlands, it was mostly Dutch,
Ah,
Dutch focused, but it was still Europe.
mhm.
So it was quite nice.
Okay. Then what happened after your studies?
So after my studies, I had enough of the academy and all the theories a little bit. And I decided if I'm gonna do something creative, I have to kind of get out there. So I started working in a creative agency. And there we did a road show as a part of a project. And that road show made me realize I really like being involved in production and kind of working in production.
What
Not
is roadshow?
That was for General Motors, but if you have a new launch for a new car or something, then you go on a road show to showcase it everywhere.
Okay, I've never heard of this.
It's-
Okay, great.
You might see them maybe in art fairs. Sometimes they have these BMWs or Mercedes outside in the places just as a showcase. but
Okay.
It's okay. So it made me realize I really like production, and I would like to do that production work for a little bit more creative department. Then I met with Mad Hatter Foundation. Through them, I got involved in the AI Film Festival in Amsterdam. And yeah, I was really happy to find a community that was so open for other people to be inside as well. And they were, maybe because they're also new, they were super excited about everything that is going around them. And since then, I am just involved with them, but I still do my own thing, just writing. But now I have this AI art world opening up. It's a whole new world, and it excites me a little bit also to talk about it.
It's very new, AI art, but maybe I want to ask, do you have a favorite AI artist? That, or you like observing their creations lately? Not all of the time favorite. Maybe they're not exist yet. They didn't create it.
I like it. I don't know much yet so deeply, but one artist that I have met, I also interviewed so I know more about him, was Boris Eldagsen. He works with photography and he works with this idea of Carl Jung and archetypes and your dark side. And once you know this, I find it super fun to find the philosophies inside his works. And perhaps lately, because I am also busy with politics in my head, I really like the works of Frank Archive.
Ah,
That he does this media manipulation type of works that plays with the current news with a twist of his own commentary maybe. I think those two artists I would say to begin with.
yay. People can explore their work as
Yes.
well. Yay, great. I know that you write articles on LinkedIn. Most of the time I see the intro and you have a website there. I would love to ask about that. What kind of things you write and how do you keep so disciplined to create art again?
Discipline. For the second question, I don't have that discipline, but I know if I let myself go, I'm not gonna do anything. That is something I realized after I graduated. If I don't have that given structure, it's really hard for me to make it my own. So now I have this system that is there. I just do it like a habit. And it has to be like that for me, otherwise it's not gonna work. But I had a moment where I thought, am I actually writing for what I like or because I want to write, or is it just me trying to make content and only to put something out? And I had moments where I didn't write for a month then.
Mm.
There was nothing coming out any week because I don't want to write content. I want to write something I believe in and I want it to be perceived like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to start with a website after LinkedIn because I thought if I am in my own space,
Yeah.
I wouldn't care so much about what the algorithm is or what the content is, but I could just put it there. And that helped me a lot.
Ah.
That gave me the motivation to come up and read stuff and get stimulated from what I'm seeing or reading. And now I am at a point where I have scheduled days to do the certain things.
You have a deadline, even if it's imaginary.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to ask about maybe when you write your
Sorry,
articles.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. What happened? Okay. A snake or something?
Some bug was walking
Okay.
on me.
Great. We are in nature. We are in nature. But I want to ask that maybe in your articles, when you read them, do you know, how do you get reactions to them? So sometimes you create and leave it to the world. And how is your audiences? Do you have communications around your creations?
Have it, but I have it not on my website or on LinkedIn because I don't know why LinkedIn, what I write is not really fitting there maybe. And it's mostly just people liking it and passing by and keep going. And whoever comes to the website, then they can read it there. But I also have a Medium, and that I found a little bit more community vibe. And there I can talk and have like some idea exchange. And I do find it nicer than having comments on a website because I am alone and I don't know if it gets too much. I don't know how to manage a website, so these type of things makes me super panicky. So I go for the easier route.
Okay, I think it's a good connection to the next question. What are you learning right now as 2025 Melis?
I'm learning something super. I'm trying to learn about law and how to protect your ideas and how much you can protect an idea until it is something. And through that, I am kind of learning how to open my ideas to people without giving too much or just giving enough that they understand what it is, and then we can talk about it, and only if they want it, I will give more details.
Okay.
That is something I struggle because if you ask me something, I just tell you
Open
everything.
book. Yay. Maybe then I can ask you, are you building something these days?
Yeah, so I am trying to build an app, but I am only on the concept level, so only the ideation of it. And this came from the idea of museums being so overwhelming. And it's always this pushiness to understand or to get it. If it's a famous artist, you have to get what the artist is doing or thinking. But for me, art is something to be felt rather than that you go read and then have an idea. If you feel it, you feel it. And through that, I want to make this experience of experiencing art a fun happening. That you just don't take photos of the artworks, post online and then forget about it a week later, but you have something to look back that you can say, oh yeah, I had this idea. Oh, this is why I like this painting, or this is why I thought this idea with this painting. I want to create something with someone that will make that happen into this compact app.
I would love to be one of the first users of this. Sometimes I go to museums and take pictures and upload them to Pexels. And now I know, but writing those things down and what I experience can be interesting for my future self as well. Yay, great. Yeah. Amazing. That I think, with your background in education and now you are building this, it's a great combination. Then another person cannot do it better than you, so that's okay to talk about it. Great. I want to ask about what are you building for your future self from today? That do you have a projection about your career?
Oh.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Okay. That's that's an answer as well.
Yeah, I'm never a person that has one specific thing. So for now, I never had a moment where I was so sure of where I'm going. It's always I wanted something and I did it, and through that some doors opened and I just took the opportunity to keep going. I like this because if I try to plan it and if I have a vision, then I'm really scared of getting disappointed, that I am not working towards an expectation I have for myself. I don't want to have that. So whatever life brings within what I am interested in, I'm gonna take it. So that is one promise I made for myself. If the opportunity is there, take it. And that opened so many doors for me. I think I'm just gonna keep going with it.
It's in the serendipitous things that happens once you are on the road, it shows it's yourself. Okay, that's a very creative and artistic way of doing things. If a person who would like to, maybe they're studying art history at this moment and they're trying to think that what's going to happen, etc., that would you give a piece of advice about that you didn't know in your study years and now after this many of years, then you can say, oh, be careful about this and stuff.
I was so excited when I first started art history, but later on I realized it is only theory. There was nothing practical, and that, how do you say that? That cut me off a little bit. That took my light away a little bit, that I had the motivation to keep going. But so my advice would be, we live in such a time now with AI, with technology, with media. Instead of art history masters, I would choose something like art media and culture type of, a little bit more broader department, I think, because it's easier to get specialized in it later, or you can always learn art history. You don't need to go to necessarily to a school and have a degree of it, unless you want to stay in the academy. But I would say art media are a little bit broader, that allows you to practice what you are doing, would be the best option at this point. But other than that, I find now Europe is super open, whatever you want to do, even without a degree. But you have to have the passion and motivation.
And concept, maybe a structure about what you are going to create. Is it okay to say if you read history of art, it's okay that to learn about art history? Do you have a favorite book to learn about art history? Or an artist about? Okay. Last question. Excuse me. The museum. Do you have a favorite museum? Because your app is about the museums.
Yeah. For a book, I think any art history book is nice. But I really like, it's not an art history book, it's more of looking at art book from John Berger, Ways of Seeing. That is,
I love that book.
A really nice perspective of looking at anything, actually, I find. But for a museum, I would say Kröller-Müller Museum in Otterlo. Because of their sculpture garden, I really love that. And maybe Stedelijk Museum, because we are here now. And Bureau Stedelijk is new, I think, but they do super nice things and they are really open to young people. And I really love seeing newly graduate artists as well, not just this
super established.
I don't want to see the same people in different galleries, but I want to see new people in the same galleries. So I would say those two, maybe.
I have my last question.
Yes.
So this is Bubbles interview.
Yes.
Please take your favorite color. And I will ask my last question while we are making bubbles.
I got a dinosaur.
Oh, okay, great.
It's not about the color, it's about
Okay.
what's on it.
Yeah, that's also an option. When you were a child, do you remember what was your answer when they asked you what did you be want to when you grew up?
I had a friend who was really obsessed with horses. And I thought, being close to her, I thought I want to be a veterinarian so we could be friends forever in our horse farm. That didn't work. I always thought I would be an engineer
Ah,
because my dad is an engineer.
then,
But it's not for me. I realized later on it's not for me. I really like writing, I like reading, I like connecting with people rather than thinking a bit more analytical, I would say.
yeah,